Welcome to Hardly Heroes, a podcast dedicated to movies, TV, and everything geek-related. I am the new number one host, Dyllyrd Skyllrd. Yeah, this is your boy, Dyllyrd Skyllrd, Daniel Scollardo, L. Don Hubbard, LaDonathan Jenkins, Little Half Dill. What's up, you guys? It's Dyllyrd Skyllrd back in the house. Second mic checking in. Daniel Scollardo, Dilly, LaDonathan Jenkins, a.k.a. L. Don Hubbard. I'm back. What's up, you guys? It's your boy, Second Mic, Dyllyrd Skyllrd. Over here on Second Mic, you got your boy, Daniel Scollardo. I'm Second Mic, a.k.a. Daniel Scollardo, Dyllyrd Skyllrd, LaDonathan Jenkins, Little Half Dill, L. Don Hubbard. That's it. I'm Dyllyrd Skyllrd.
Yeah, it's clobbering time.
Welcome to the Hardly Heroes Podcast.
Hey yo, from the halls of justice to the temple of doom, the space wizards return and earn a sonic the boom, pulling swords from stones, throwing rings into volcanoes, water full of witches. I'm inevitably Thanos. Voltron made a lions, Wakanda with a panther. Walker Mars, Darker Manhattan, Spocket for an answer. Live long and prosper, the force will be with you always. No work in all plays, shining like blood film always. Come and play with us, we all float down here. Say your name 3 times and we hopefully appear. Team full of psychics, super soldiers and weirdos. Some people call us sidekicks because we hardly heroes.
Welcome to Hardly Heroes, a podcast dedicated to movies, TV, and everything geek-related. I'm your host, Buddy.
What's up, you guys? This is Second Mic, Don Dilly, a.k.a. Daniel Scollardo, a.k.a. LaDonathan Jenkins, a.k.a. Little Half Dill, a.k.a. L. Don Hubbard, a.k.a. Tigg Dillies.
Tigg Dillies, and this your girl, 18th mic, up in the heels. Let's tater tot.
T-tots.
Cheese.
It's cheesy whiz.
Babs.
Babs is not here tonight.
No, dude, Babs is making a hard presence.
She's not being...
I feel like Babs is always with us.
People don't like her.
In spirit.
That's true.
That
she
is-
may show up. I do have like a pint glass of wine.
Right.
So.
A pint.
It just takes a few little drinky drinks to bring her out.
Welcome to episode 255. It is actually April of the 1st,
April Fool's Days.
2021. Yes.
It
Can
is.
I actually, if I don't know if you guys have... Oh, what?
No.
Oh.
No. Please.
Yeah.
Huh?
Good old Babs just interrupted.
Yeah, it's fine.
I didn't know if you guys have any stories, but...
Good old Babs.
I don't know if we've told this story before, but Mammy is actually a really big practical joker. And I don't think my dad was really into practical jokes. And so she actually, like, there was a few practical jokes that, like, were pretty funny that I don't think he liked, but I'm not talking about that one. So there was one where my older brothers, James, and my other brother, they had a paper route. And my mom had one of those vans that looked like a dustbuster. Like if you put a handle on the back of it, it looked like a dustbuster.
Oh, like the old Toyota with the slanted front on it?
Or it was
It
like
was
a
a
Chevy.
Chevy.
It was a Chevy, yes.
We called it the
slant,
Dustbuster.
Okay.
Yeah, with the slant, super like hard angled front.
Okay.
So she
Front?
would So she would pop up the back, load it up with the papers, and the boys would like, kind of run alongside and like deliver the papers.
Yep.
So I guess on April Fool's, she like the car stopped. And she's like, "You guys, I'm out of gas." And they're like, "Oh, snapples." And so she's like, "You guys have to push the car, so we can like get back home." So they're like pushing for like hella long, like hella blocks. They're pushing the car. And then she just, after like hella long, she just started the car up and like drove away.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That is like will forever be
That's
burned in
the
my
best.
as like such a good practical joke on some kids because they were hella pissed.
Oh, dude, can you imagine like you're pushing and car just starts driving away?
It's amazing. Can I share a quick paper out story
I
now
would
that you
love it.
brought that
Oh,
up?
yeah.
So that was my first job. I was like 12 years old. I worked for the Sacramento Bee. And I had this one weekend, because it was an everyday thing, obviously. So this one weekend I had a bunch of my friends stay the night, and I was like, "Oh, you guys can help me with my paper route," and they wanted to do it. It's
Right.
like fun when you're a kid.
Yeah.
So we got up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and my stepdad Mike, he would like drive me around sometimes on the weekends because he was off. We'd load stuff up, and we had a van too, or he had like an El Camino, either one. So this time we were taking the van, but so I had like these bunk beds in my room, and so I had a friend on that, and then like another buddy was like, I think like somewhere else, and so we're getting like ready to go. And Mike would always come in and wake us up. Well, this one morning he came in and he was naked.
Who?
My stepdad.
What?
Yeah. So my friend was like, "Hey, your stepdad was naked and I seen his balls."
Wait,
like-
but why was he naked to come wake
I don't
us
know
up?
because he like would wake up and I don't know. I don't remember, but I just remember my friend being like, I think he like came in and like peeked his head in the room and was like, "Hey, get up," or something. He didn't like
okay.
come in, you know what I
Okay.
mean? And then he's like, I guess it woke my buddy up and he was like, "Your dad was naked."
I saw his balls.
Yeah, so some genitalia, a
Wow.
quick genitalia
That's
story.
not, and you don't want to see your friend's dad's balls.
No.
I don't think you want to see any dad balls.
That's true, but especially your friend. I mean, your
They can get a
dad
little
is
sticky.
probably the worst, but you don't have to tell anybody about that. But if you see your friend's dad's balls,
I just told the world about it.
You just hope you would see probably your friend's mom's boobs.
Boobs.
You know what I mean?
True.
One time, a
Truth.
friend of mine did see my mom naked too.
What?
Yeah, my friend Andy. He stayed the night, and we had this long hallway. My mom had there was like a mirror like in her room, but if you were at my room, you could like look down the hallway, and she had a mirror that was like kind of facing. So I guess he like got up in the morning or something, and my mom had the door open, and he like looked down the hall, and my mom was like getting ready, but she was naked. So he's seen her reflection
No.
in the mirror, right? He still talks about it. He's like, "Hey, remember when I saw your mom naked
He's
that
like,
one time?" I was like, "Yeah." I
oh my
remember."
god. Okay, for
There's
one,
that.
That would suck.
Dilly's mom. Okay, you just no matter what, always close the door.
You know, that's how the household was.
We kind of
I
had
mean,
a
they had a
naked.
very open door
We
policy.
kind of had a naked family too.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot
Dad
of.
was definitely.
Oh yeah, that was a naked.
He would wake up and we had these big 4 windows in the very front of the house. You remember in the courtyard. And he would
Yeah.
open them up buck naked, just
Hell yeah.
You know, I know.
balls and
Rise
and
just
shine.
slapping around.
Like I know he didn't do this because there was nowhere for him to put his leg up, but I just imagined him like putting his leg up
Oh,
and
yeah.
just like the little stick that you
Yeah.
twirl the blinds,
Yeah.
just twirling that little stick, like looking outside, just balls hanging everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
just
gross.
pull up the blinds just enough so you can see from the waist down.
Yeah. You don't see his face. You just see the
Is that why all
shaft.
the like neighborhood housewives would gather in front of your guys' home in the morning?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's kind of funny if you like grow, like if you just kind of grow up and you're like, oh okay, like it's not super weird to see your parents naked, especially like when you're little and stuff, and then you just kind of get used to it, and then and then you meet someone down the road, and you're like, oh, you didn't see your dad's balls.
You never seen your dad's balls stuck to his leg before?
You're like,
So-
oh, okay, I guess I'm weird.
Oh goodness.
Wow, we really got up to a weird start
Yeah.
there.
So
Thanks,
there's
Dill.
that.
That was totally Dill's
I got a
fault.
lot of fun
started
stories.
off with a wholesome April
Prank.
Fool's prank, and then he started talking about balls.
Did you ever tell the story of what your brother did to you on April Fool's, or have we talked about that?
I don't know if we have, but I can tell that story real quick since it is April Fool's.
Because it's happened to me also, and it was probably one of the worst April Fool's jokes that anybody's
So-
ever played.
Oh,
on
by
me.
the way, Babs, you should thank me.
Why?
Because brother was trying to get you this year, and he's like, dude, help me out. And I was like, not this year.
Are you serious?
I was like, let her be this year. I was like, she can't mentally
She can't
handle
handle
it
it.
this year.
You're so sweet. Thank you so
I
much.
was just like, dude, I was like, literally, she probably won't talk to you for the rest of your life. Like, she just can't.
Did he already have a plan? Like what he was
Oh,
going to
he was trying to get me and sister
my
in on it.
Why
and I was
on
like,
me?
you can't. Because you're the only one that falls for it.
So
I fell for it too. I ain't gonna lie. He got me really good.
so one year he calls up and Grant okay, and
It's happened the same year to both of you,
Yeah,
right?
he
well,
like
I
one
think
after
he called
another.
me and then called you or called you and then called me.
Yep.
But like what's really funny about the story is I was like on a first date too, okay? And we were like at our apartment like playing a board game or something. That's what I do on my first dates.
Wow.
And James calls me and he's like practically in tears and basically says that Lindsay kicked him out of the house because he's addicted to heroin.
Mm-hmm.
Heroin.
Yep. She caught
Heroin.
him doing
Yeah,
heroin.
caught him doing heroin and kicked him out of the house and he wanted to come stay with me.
Yep.
And like what's so funny about the whole story, when you look back you can laugh. What's so funny about the whole story is like I'm really concerned about him. Like I'm practically crying. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, Da 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 da. And then like with this whole conversation, we're kind of trying to figure it out. And at the end of it, he basically starts asking me for money to get more drugs.
Yep.
Which is so funny because, like, I mean, honest to God, he should have been an actor. I seriously was in tears. And then when he said at the end that it was April Fool's, I hung up. I just instantly hung up. And I was so pissed because I'm like on a first date and I'm like trying to like do that. And I'm like all flustered and upset. And he called me back probably 4 or 5 times and I wouldn't answer it.
But you didn't talk to him for months.
I mean, no, I think it was just like a few weeks. I wouldn't pick up.
Yeah.
And I told my family, I was like, I'm not talking to him right now.
Yep. Same thing with me. He's like, oh man, I had a problem and I've been hiding it from everybody. And, I came out and I'm a junkie. Like I have nowhere to go. And you think I come stay with you for like a couple nights or something like that? Like a little bar, maybe a month or something. And I was like, let me talk to the wife. You know what I'm saying? Let me figure this out real quick. And I'll like, let me call you right back, And I was like, going to talk to my wife about it. And he's like, I'm just messing with you. I was like, you dirty dog.
Seriously, I was so pissed. I was so mad.
That was a good one.
I like pranks like Mammy's prank. I don't like saying like mean things that really does, like for a second there, I'm literally having like it hurts my heart to think of my brother in pain like this. That's mean. That's not a fun prank. That's mean.
So good.
I'm so glad he did give me.
I will share one more. This is like story time right now.
Yeah.
This wasn't an April Fool's prank, and this was bad. Like I shouldn't have probably done this, but this was maybe 8 years ago or so, and it was New Year's Eve, and this was before they like shut down Old Sacramento, because in Old Sacramento a bunch of shootings like broke out at midnight, and like people were getting shot. And
yeah.
It was all over the news, and my mom saw that, and she called me. And she's like, where are you? And I was like, I'm in Old Sac. And I told her I was like down there. I was sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? She's like, oh my God, get out of there now. People are getting shot. And I was like, I'm just kidding, Mom. Like, relax. But yeah, I didn't let it go too long.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But,
Not like brother.
I gave her a quick scare.
That's good.
Yeah. Story time's over.
You got any story times?
For April Fools? No, it's not a big holiday on my list.
Mm-hmm.
I got Dilly for a hot second today.
Oh, you did.
You did. Got me on that
with
Kittle.
Some kind of football.
I told Dilly because the internet was very robustly talking about this. George Kittle got traded to the Jaguars, and everybody was talking about it on the internet. And then he came out and he was like, "Dude, it was just a joke."
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh, dude, people were livid because he's the number 1 tight end in the league.
Yeah.
And just to let him go like that, people would have lost their mind. So that was pretty good.
Did it get like published on websites and stuff like that?
Well, it was just like all over the internet, wherever I could find it. It was just like trending. So
like Kittle's traded. Oh my God, I don't know how I didn't see that.
And then everybody was like making like, they were like getting like him in Jaguars gear and stuff.
Oh man,
it was good.
That
is
the
pretty
worst.
good.
Well, and especially because all the deals right now in the NFL are like, happening right now. So it's like
right. So it definitely
time.
could have been real.
Opening day for MLB. What's up with that?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
You guys excited?
I'm super pumped.
I'm excited. I'm excited for like a real season.
A real.
Because last year wasn't real.
No. 60 games.
Like it doesn't count last year, right?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Right?
Right.
No.
Right,
Nothing.
Cheese? Nothing counts for last year?
No, I don't count
It's
it.
like a fake season.
Yeah, it's like,
Okay.
I can't
Just
believe
checking.
even they count
That's just
the World Series.
I'm
I'm
just
like,
verifying.
it's 60 games.
yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
They should have just been like, this is for fun.
This is
or
just,
something.
This is warm ups. It's for funsies.
It's for
this is a
funsies.
long, you know what I mean?
Scrimmage.
Yeah, long scrimmage.
Yeah. I totally
So
think
we're
that.
going to take that win off their record.
I mean, I technically already have.
It should be an asterisk.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
totally think so. Like Logan and I feel this. We didn't literally, I promise you, we didn't even watch the World Series.
Well, because my thing is everybody's like,
'Cause
oh,
it
well,
just
it's
didn't
still
count.
hard. But I'm like, dude, baseball season, it's the grind.
Yes. is.
Yeah.
And yet
Anybody can get hot
it's
for
like
a while.
a fraction of it.
Yeah.
60 games out of 160.
And you don't even start playing until like
I
the
know.
halfway through.
I know.
And you're talking about 100 less games.
Yeah, seriously, that's like huge.
But that's not
and you're
considered
totally
playoffs
right. It's
either.
the grind. It's like
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, it's like in and out. You know what I mean? And especially like staying healthy. That's the hardest part.
The
in
whole
baseball.
time.
yeah, and
Yeah.
staying off the injured list and
Staying off that roid cream. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
dude.
you can't use the rub, the Barry Bonds rub or
Yeah.
anything.
yeah.
It's not steroids. It's a protein take.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, this is a sad show because it's Dilly's last show.
Yeah.
It is.
Now we can't promise that he'll never be here again.
We're just saying he doesn't want to do it anymore right now.
And I don't want to say, I'm not going to say this on the air that it's Dilly's fault that the show's ending. I'm not going to say that,
Right.
But it is.
Sure.
but it's kind of like the
guys
pain, the pain of losing Dilly.
What we have
It was too much
decided.
to bear.
It's just
It's like going through childbirth.
you don't. We just getting a new host, trying to mold them into what we want. No.
And,
Oh, you
and-
guys are really going with this. You're going with
no,
it's
it's
Dilly's
not.
fault.
It's not your fault, but it's like
It's your fault.
You're not saying that.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that you leave a big, really warm, festering, gaping hole,
Yeah.
and to
Like,
fill that,
super gape.
like we would have had to have surgery and skin grafts and
You'd probably need 2 people, to be
Right,
honest.
exactly. And I just don't know if we had what it takes.
Yeah, and it feels kind of like the perfect storm. You know, we had lasted about 5 years,
Yeah.
or we're coming up on our 5th year. Dilly
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Hey, I can't do it anymore." You know, some of the emails have been really mean and critical, and I just can't handle it anymore.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only thing that was really keeping me around was Hildy June.
Right.
But, you know, I got look at all that we've accomplished. We've had the beer. I have the Skyllrd coconut bites. Like, come
Right.
on now, dude.
TBG.
I got the TBG.
yeah. Yeah.
All these things.
I mean, Dilly's done more movie events than Cheese.
Oh, yeah. Hands
know.
down.
by like
Hands
50%.
down.
And, you know, he did the commercial.
Yeah, I did.
That's
He
like,
did a
Started
lot of-
that.
you know what's such bullshit about that whole thing is like I was completely involved in that. All of these movie events, I was behind the scenes running shit, and I only made it onto one poster. So
Well, the funny part about is she never wanted to be on the mic. We tried to get her a long time ago, and she was like, no, no, no. And then when we finally got her on, she was sweating profusely. And then she's like, I kind of like this. I think I want to do it. I think I'm going to call myself Babs.
Yeah, I think it was just like that,
Yeah.
actually.
no, I wanted to call myself Tater, and you
TT?
said no.
No.
It
No
is true
TT.
though. I never wanted to be on the show. Like never, even a little bit wanted to be on the show because my voice is terrible, and I am not. I'm shy. I'm really shy.
Shay.
I know you would know this because of the the alcohol helps.
It sure
Shay.
does. It helps loosen things up.
Shay.
I'm shy, and I never wanted to be on it. But then once you get on it, and then people start talking shit, they're like, "Oh, geez," it's like super fun.
It's been a fun ride.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
So we're wrapping it up. This is Dilly's last show, and then we're wrapping it up here. So, things are probably going to be a little just loose around here for the next few weeks.
Yeah, I do have a extra show that's going to be coming out this.
Well, no, we're probably just going to be posting that on next Thursday
What?
because I can't record next Thursday.
What if we record on a Wednesday?
Oh, Wednesday?
A Wednesday.
We'll talk about it. We don't need to discuss online.
Yeah.
Online. On the
On
world.
the nether.
Online.
On air. Okay, so anyways, I wanted to hear this story. So Dilly was talking to us, and I made him stop because I wanted to hear the story on the air. Do you remember?
What story?
Oh yeah, we're talking about dreams, I think.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Okay, so tell us this dream story.
So yeah, last night I slept really well,
Oh,
but I had this
sound?
really weird dream. So I don't know what this kind of relates to. I have no idea. But so I basically like walked into this coffee shop, and for some reason and that was one of my first jobs, was like this. I worked at this place called Chocolate Decadence.
Ooh,
This is like before, it was where Starbucks was in Elk Grove over by Bel Air for a while. This is before like Starbucks, and this was just like the first boom of espresso bars or whatever. So in my dream, I walk into this place, and people are like going on break. The employees that are working are going on break, and for some reason they're like, "You're hired." There was no interview or anything, and I'm like, "Okay." So I walk in there, and then as soon as I like clock in for my shift, like my first training shift, I guess, everybody leaves. Like all the employees leave. They're all on their break. Like there is no trainer or anything. So I'm just like stuck by myself, and then hella full. Like the floodgates open, and just hordes of people, customers start coming in here, and it's just me. I don't even know like any of the drinks or anything. And so this, there's like a guy that comes up to me, and he's like, "I want to order like 75 drinks." right there, I was just like, "Holy crap, what?" Like I'm freaking out in my dream, and then I didn't make those drinks, but like another person ordered like a mocha. I remember they're like, "I want a mocha." It was just like a single lady.
Right.
She's like, "I just want one drink." I was like, "Cool, I could do this." And then I'm just struggling. Like I can't find the milk. Like I can't froth anything. I don't know what's happening. Like I don't know where anything is. I remember trying to like put the, you get like the espresso thing, and you like click it in there, and you like pack it down and put it in the deal. I'm like trying to do that, and it's just like spilling everywhere. And the milk is like nowhere, is like rotten or something. And then the lady's like, "I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving." And I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
I'm in my training shift.
Yeah. I'm like, they just abandoned me here. I'm like, this is my first day. So, and then I like woke up, it was
That's
weird.
So good.
But it was
I have
fun.
dreams like that so often, because I used to work at a restaurant for a really long time, and then obviously I do hair now. Mm-hmm. And I've had dreams where it's always kind of like that, where I'm back at P.F. Chang's, and I know I don't work there. I'm like, I know I don't work here. I do hair somewhere else. But they're like, "Dude, you're working tonight." And I'm like, "I don't have my uniform."
You're like, "That was like 10 years ago. I don't,
Right. And they're like, "Well, like your clothes are up there." And I'm like trying to find my clothes, and it takes me like, and they're also telling me like, "You have 4 tables."
Like you just got triple sat.
And I'm like, okay, so like it takes me forever to find the clothes, and this whole time like people are just waiting.
Yeah.
And I just know that they're waiting for me. Mm-hmm. And then I like finally get my clothes, but it's like weird clothes, and it's not right. And then I'm like trying to find a pen or like something to write on, or it's like I just cannot. I've never in any of these dreams actually made it to any table.
Yeah.
But it's like the whole time I'm like, I have all these tables.
I have literally
and then you have more tables, and you need to get to your tables.
Mm-hmm. You're in the weeds.
I'm in the weeds.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly. You're swamped.
I'm super swamped. And what's so funny is like Logan's never worked at a restaurant. And so I have a really good friend, Brio, who I worked with at P.F. Chang's for a really long time. And he's always in the weeds. He lives his whole life in the weeds. And so like one time we were at P.F. Chang's after I didn't work there anymore. And Brio's there, and he pulls up to like the bar, and you can tell he's like in the weeds.
Yeah,
and I'm like
he's sweating.
and I'm like,
I need
Brio,
some change.
Yeah. And I'm like, Brio, like, dude, are you okay? Are you in the weeds, dude? And he's like, I'm in the weeds forever. And Logan looks at me.
Can you tell people what that means?
No, right. I'm listening. So Logan looks at me. He's like, what is in the weeds? And I'm like, it just means that you're like busy and you're got a lot going on. And you're just like in the weeds.
You're slammed.
It just makes so much sense to me. And Logan's just like, so now Logan will use it. And he's like, I'm in the weeds.
Yeah, and it's a common restaurant term for when you're just
you're just
you're just
slammed.
behind. Like you can't keep up. You're just you're slammed. You're swamped.
slammed.
You're in the weeds. It's all the same
You
thing.
just can't catch up.
I literally have the exact same dream.
Really?
Like where I still work at.
Right.
I used to work at On the Border. I worked there for like 9 years as a bartender. Mm-hmm. I worked at Paisanos for a while, bartending too. But for some reason, in all my dreams, I'm at On the Border, and I'm like, I don't work here anymore.
Yeah.
But I do.
Right.
You know
but
what
you
I mean?
do tonight.
And I'm like, why? I don't want to be here. And it's like, I don't know if it's.
It's so funny.
I don't know the meaning.
Right.
Of that
Like
dream.
why?
Mm-hmm.
And is it like, I mean, buddy, do you have dreams of your old jobs?
No.
Is it like a server thing? Like,
I think it might be.
were we so traumatized
I think so. Yeah.
of the stress?
I
just
don't
hate
dream a lot, though, or at least I don't remember them.
You know
very
what, brother?
shortly,
I actually, Logan dreams a lot. It's very vivid. Every night or every morning he wakes up and he literally can like recite his dream, and it's super vivid. And he does so much in his dream. I'm like jealous. I'm like, where did you go? That's so amazing. I literally wake up just like blank.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, like if I do dream, a lot of times it's like a restaurant dream. But so often I just wake up like nothing.
Yeah.
Do
or
you
like,
normally dream? Like or wake up remembering?
Yeah, but then I wake up and I'm like, God, like sometimes you can recall a little bit of it,
Yeah.
but sometimes it just goes blank,
Yeah.
like you said.
It's like you know it, but
I don't know how I remembered this one last night,
I
but
love it.
it stuck.
I love like for some reason I just love like random stuff like that where because I feel like in my restaurant dreams a lot of times there's always something I can't find. It's not right. I can never catch up. So that one's just so funny.
Same Z's. I
And
have
you
these
can't
really
froth
weird.
the milk.
Right, I couldn't find anything. When I'm sick, when I have the flu, I have these weird dreams where like the room is like really long. It's like a super long, like wide, just for as far as you can see, and like you keep. I don't know, just something
that's
about
creepy.
like the flu dreams.
Do you ever have a dream where like you can't run
Yeah,
like or walk
or you can't punch,
walking
like you're
is
stuck
like,
in cement.
Yeah, it's like you're in cement or like water. Like do you have those dreams, buddy? That literally is the worst. I wake up like chest hurting, like anxiety, and I don't know what that is. I feel like I read something because when you sleep, your body's like almost in like some kind of like mild like temporary like paralysis or something. And where it's like, of course you can move, but like when you're dreaming, you're not like, moving your arms and stuff.
Yeah.
So because your body kind of like is doing like more like
In a sleep state.
Sometimes that can like translate into your dreams and it's like literally the worst dream. Like I literally am like crawling on the floor to try to just like walk across the room. Oh, I hate those dreams.
Yeah, same thing for me. It's just like punching or whatever. You can't move.
Oh, right.
It's like you're underwater. You just can't do anything.
Buddy's so vapid. Look at him. He doesn't have any dreams.
And I sometimes have this dream where I like wake up and I like in my dream I'm like in a bunch of chocolate, and then I wake up and there's like poop everywhere.
Shut up.
Whoa,
No, just
poop
kidding.
dreams.
He always brings it back to poop.
That's true. I mean, he was traumatized at Disneyland.
This is true.
The poop, the poop skate,
The poopy pants.
and of the poop skate of the 90s or 80s.
Poopscape, we call it.
The poop scoot and boogie.
The poop scoot and boogie.
Like that.
You like that?
Like it.
The poop scoot and boogie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good song anyway. Brooks and Dunn.
Mm-hmm.
Does it rock?
Absolutely. Love those guys.
Love those
Neon
guys.
Moon.
Yeah.
What? It's my jam.
I'm really a big fan of George Strait. He's like my all-time favorite country singer.
Well, he's probably the best.
Yeah.
He's the king. They call him the king. So
Do they?
yeah, King George.
I didn't know
I
that.
mean, there's not too many that can be on that level. You got a few. Alan Jackson.
Well, yeah, but you got to think of his career is probably the longest too.
Okay, well I know all these stats. So his first album was in 1981, and he dropped an album every single year up until
the year you were born.
yeah. So every single year up until like a few years ago, every single year he came out with an album. Now the thing with George Strait though is he doesn't write his own songs.
Right.
You know, he just sings them. He's an
Yeah.
amazing singer, but he's not a songwriter. But what's funny is
Like Drake.
He feels like he's not a good songwriter, but in his first album, he did write a few of his own songs, and they were good. But he just, never really fancied himself as a songwriter. But I mean, just the amount of work, that he put out is just insane. Good old Georgie.
Yep. It'll be a sad day.
Where the sidewalk ends.
Where the sidewalk ends.
That's my jam.
It'll be a
road
sad day.
begins.
That's for sure.
I know.
No,
Well, that's gonna. I'm gonna have to take the day off of work.
Because he's what, 75?
No, so actually, what's funny is he's the exact same age as our parents.
Oh, he's 66?
Right. So, and also that same year that he came out with his first album was when his first son was born, 1981. Okay. I know all this because I had a book on him.
She also had a green corduroy hat.
George Strait hat.
Right.
And
Corduroy.
I saw him twice in concert. Sister brought me to the one MGM Vegas. Taylor Swift opened up for him.
What? T-Swift?
T Swift before she was known. Remember she had that really curly hair and the big guitar, and she was like kind of a dork. And me and Laura were like, "Oh, she's cute." And then little did we know,
Then
she was T Swift.
Then she became the T Swift.
The T Swizzles.
Yeah, because she was country, first.
I mean,
right?
she was
crossed over.
hella country. I mean, like one of her most popular songs was the Teardrop song, or the Tim McGraw song, where she sings about Tim McGraw. Like, she was hella country. But I think she very obviously successfully switched.
What about
over.
Our Song?
Oh, I love that song.
What?
Our Song.
Yeah.
I don't know any Taylor Swift songs.
You know Taylor Swift
Are we?
songs.
Do we need to sing it for you?
Do it.
Should we do it on the count of 3?
Yeah.
Count us down.
3, 2, 1.
Our song is slamming screen doors, kicking up
James on
something
the
on the
walls,
window.
Yeah.
We suck.
Here.
That was bad. No, don't be playing no T Swift.
No, I was going to look
Don't
up
do
the
it.
words.
Oh, don't do it.
Don't play an actual thing, but
Sneaking out and tapping on your window.
it's such a good song, brother.
What's
Our
that
song
TS?
is a slamming screen door,
Dude,
sneaking
my
out late,
sister-
tapping on your window.
My other sister, on Spotify at the end of the year, it tells you like how much you've listened
Right.
and who's your top artist. My sister Laura, her top artist was T Swift. She was in the top 1% of people
Oh my.
that listens to the most.
And you just
Damn.
imagine how many people listen to T.
That's
T
what
Swift.
I'm saying. Think how many people listen to T Swift, and she's in the top 1% of people.
She's a
amazing.
problem.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what it is about me? I think she spends a lot of time in the car. I love T Swift, but I never listen to music. It's like I have music playing all day at the salon, obviously. But like if I get in my car, if I'm at home, there's no music.
What are you listening to in your car?
Nothing. Silence.
Silence?
Silence.
The sound of silence.
That's a little creepy.
It's literally just I don't listen to podcasts. The only thing I do in my car is I make phone calls. But if I don't have a phone call to make, it's just silence. There's nothing that I enjoy better than driving in complete silence. One time I drove to LA by myself. No music.
What'd you listen to?
I didn't listen to anything.
Nothing.
I literally just
That's 6.5 hours.
I made a few phone calls, but I literally just thought things in my head. I was just thinking about stuff, just thinking thoughts.
Wow.
Weird. Yeah.
That's really
Who
weird.
does that?
That might be the weirdest thing you've ever told me, Babs.
Are you serious?
6 hours
Who
of
does it?
silence?
Okay, it's not silence though. You're in a car. There's noise. There's things to look at. It's not like I'm in a box of silence. It's like you have the whole world to look at. I'm like, oh, look there's a cow. I'm just thinking about shit that I'm looking at.
Dude. Serial killer.
I think so.
Serial
I think
killer.
so. Yeah. Femme fatale.
Is that a sign?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I think I'm
Makes
just
you
really
wonder.
comfortable with my own head. I'm just a
I don't think so.
interesting person.
No.
Do you guys, okay, this is another question because this is actually what I do a lot in the car when it's silent. And maybe this is a serial killer thing, but I'll like daydream, like I'll like play out scenarios. Do you do that? Like, but full on scenarios. Do you know what I'm saying? Where it's like,
Do you talk to yourself?
no, I don't talk to myself. But this is going to sound again like I'm a serial killer, but like I'll think of like if I got in a car accident, right? And then it's like, oh, like, like just for fun.
Yeah, I
It's
do
literally
do
just
that.
for fun. I'm not really hurt. I'm always in it. I'm not really hurt, but I'm like hurt enough to where like people are like, oh my God, like, is Sheila okay? And then people come to the hospital and then I'm like, have to recoup. Like it's this whole thing. And I'll like play it out. Like I can think about this for like an hour.
It reminds me of that Bill Burr where he's like driving down the road and he sees all the people on the sidewalk. He's like driving normal. Turn to the left. Oh my God, it's the worst scene we've ever seen. And
He's all tick, tick, tick,
tick,
tick, tick,
tick, yeah,
tick.
just picking them off one by one. That's what it reminds me of. It's just like your brain kind of thinking of like, oh, well.
And what if I just
I'm like,
swerved into
yeah.
traffic?
And
You're
then-
like, what if I just jumped off this bridge? Would anybody even notice?
Sometimes that happens. That does happen to me. I'll just think of like weird things in
Yeah.
my head and like scenarios plays out. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm driving. I'm still driving.
Right. You're like, I should pay attention.
Yeah.
I totally like when that happens where there's a chunk of your drive that you're like, did I run
Oh,
that
yeah.
red light? Like, was I
Yeah.
even paying
Was
attention?
that a camera light?
Right.
Oh my God.
I have done that where you're just driving. You're like,
Super
dude,
zone
like
out.
5 miles have passed.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of
Yeah.
it.
Samesies.
Well, I do hear that we have a special Dilly's Gaming.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I had a fun little story I had
We
kind of
story time.
mentioned.
Wasn't story time a while ago?
It was in the beginning of the show.
No, I mentioned,
was
but
right
I
around
wanted
the
to put
balls.
another big shout out. I got the best birthday wish of all time. My sister didn't even call me. Dilly didn't call me.
I called you. I was
Dilly-
the second person to call.
Dilly texted you early in the morning.
That's true, he did. No call, though.
Didn't Babs call?
Babs didn't call.
She was still up, drunk from the night before.
Sounds about right. I got a phenomenal phone call. My own mammy didn't even call me. She texted me.
Oh, damn.
And was like, I'll sing to you when I get there. But she sang me a special happy birthday song.
Oh, okay.
So that was dope. But I got a call from the one and only Sonny.
Indian Viking?
Yeah, called me all the way from Norway.
What time was it? Like the middle of the night?
It was like 6 o'clock at night. And it was like 7:30 our time.
Morning?
Yeah. They're like 12 hours different. So it was super cool to talk to him.
Sonny!
I actually have a voicemail if you guys would like to hear it.
Yeah,
Can you
run
plug
it.
it into the...
Run that.
No, I mean, you'll be able to hear it.
This is a message from Norway. Yo, happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday to you. You're turning old, but I can't see you. You're young and fit. You're super fit. You're buddy, Superman. Happy birthday, buddy. You're the man.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you for that, Jim. And then I immediately called him back. So I just wanted to say thank you for calling me on my birthday. It made my day. It was super funny. I was at work and my manager walked up and I was like, not now.
No.
I'm on the phone on an international
International call, thank you.
call. The Indian Viking doesn't just call everyone.
Internacional.
And he told me as soon as COVID lifts, he wants me to come out and visit. And I told him, I'll do it.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to know if anybody else from the HH crew want to go. So
Yeah.
Of course I do.
he
Can't.
said now
Yeah.
he's got his house all in order, so he's got room for us to stay.
He has a guest room.
Yeah.
I don't think he understands what he's offering. Does it
I
be
think-
like 8 deep or like, what's up, Sonny?
What it do?
I think he does. I mean, he's been listening to the show for 5 years.
Right.
I want to go to Norway so bad.
Dude, you have no
The
idea.
Nordics.
I want to go out drinking with them, even though I know Sonny doesn't drink, but I want to go out drinking with them. See what it's like. See some of the scapes.
Remember when I
I
brought
want to go to Mordor.
Mini Sonny to the snow?
You lost Mini Sonny.
No, he's somewhere.
He did Snow Angels.
Yeah, he did little mini snow angel. He had little skis.
Yeah.
He was on the
He had
plane.
a scarf.
He had a scarf and a hat.
Yep.
That's so cute.
Oh, Mini Sonny. Maybe we should just keep that alive, like on the Hardly Heroes Instagram, just every once in a while.
Yeah, Mini Sonny.
We just rename it Mini Sonny.
Hardly Heroes Mini Sonny. All right, what do you got for us, Dill?
Are we running this gaming corner?
Yeah.
It's Dilly's Gaming Corner. Let's play.
All right, so Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 patch fixes crashing issues in Xbox Series X version. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. We
Yeah.
talked about how they're going to release the patch. If you had the digital version, you had to pay
Yeah.
$10, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. So Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 launched back in September 2020 for last-gen consoles, with the next-gen versions of the game launching a few days ago on March 26th. Unlike most next-gen upgrades on the Xbox, though, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 skips out on the smart delivery system, instead asking its users to purchase a separate next-gen version. That version can be unlocked by purchasing a $10 cross-gen deluxe bundle if you own the digital version of the game, but there is currently no way to upgrade on the Xbox One disc version of the game. I think we covered that a few weeks ago. So the next-gen upgrade for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater includes a bunch of great additions, including native 4K, 60 FPS, 120 frames per second, along with improved visuals and audio. And the next-gen exclusive features like Quick Resume on the Series X and the haptic feature on the PS5. There's no to just backtrack a little bit. So I was really excited about this because when I first got Tony Hawk, I didn't have the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
And then GOAT came along.
Right.
And my world
Savior.
changed. So I had been waiting for this upgrade.
And it's still hard to find, right?
Is
The
it?
Xbox?
Yeah, you still can't find it.
I was
Are
about
you
to say,
serious?
And it's been 4 months. Thank you, GOAT.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you could have been without.
Yeah.
And you were a little
Imagine.
hesitant for a second.
For maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh,
like,
you didn't think
what?
you wanted it?
Well, I figured, like I'd probably be able to get one and buy one from
okay.
like a store or
Right.
whatever, so pay a little bit less or whatever. But, I got a hell of a deal from GOAT. So I'm 100% thankful. So anyways, I bought the $10 upgrade. Like I waited till it came out. I was waiting for this thing to release. So finally it came out. Like there it is. So I saw it on the dashboard, bought it, $10. I'm like, cool. So it took me a while to figure out that you had to once you buy, like if you have the digital version, if you bought the $10 thing, it gave you it unlocked like another version of the game that you then had to go and re-download that. So I did that, the XS version. I deleted my regular version, right? I've been waiting. This is like Friday night by the time I got to get everything ready and like ready to rock, ready to play, excited for the new graphics. It's complete turd. Like it won't even play. Like,
What?
No, just
And you deleted?
complete shit. The game they ruined it. It won't even work. It wouldn't work at all. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? I tried everything. It would let you get to the menu, and then as soon as you like try to start a game, it just freezes every effing time. It was maddening because I waited so long for the upgrade, dude, and I was just irritated as shit. So I started Googling some stuff, and then I found out it was just like a widespread problem. The upgrade just killed the game, and they didn't,
They didn't
they
care?
didn't patch. No, it's Activision. Like they're notorious for doing this. And what pisses me off is
Can you still play the old game?
there was a few workarounds. So it came out that you could play the game. You could play the upgraded game, but you had to turn off you had to basically play in offline mode. But it took me a while to figure that out. So there's like some workarounds, or you could just delete that and reinstall the regular version and play that. So I ended up not playing, and I was just irritated. You know what I mean? Like I waited.
So mad.
Think about the people that if I had bought the disc version of the game, like those people had to rebuy
Right.
the other game for like $50 again. I got lucked out because I had the digital version.
Yeah.
So those guys were even screwed. So there's no official patch notes yet for the update. They just put one out. But the Xbox Series X and S versions of Tony Hawk Pro Skater have been updated, which users on the subreddit are widely reporting that has fixed the crashing issue. So they did fix it.
Finally.
I did finally get to play it. It looks great. It's crisp, but without some hiccups.
Yeah.
So it took them about a week to patch it up after they released and made everybody pay again for it.
Oh
So they
my God.
finally
Bold.
decided to fix it. And what makes me mad is they had the option to do like what they call smart delivery, meaning if you buy one version of the game and a different one comes out, you get that too.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just Activision was like so stingy with it. They didn't do that. And then they just force everybody to, it's just a money grab, another
Right.
money grab for money. They did the same thing with Call of Duty, and people were just pissed off. But they ended up fixing it, and I finally got to play. And it's good.
and
It's
it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Hey, did you get MLB, the show?
Releases on 4/20.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
I asked brother, I was like, hey, are you going to buy it? He's like, I'm hoping Dill's going to buy it.
Yeah, I'm
So-
buying it. He'll get it too. So if you pre-order it, you get it 4 days early, so you can play.
Oh,
you can
nice.
start playing on the 16th. I'm pumped. That's just a few weeks away. I'm getting that for sure. You gonna get it?
I do love playing that game, so
It
I'm like,
looks
cop
good.
that.
It looked good. All right, so Xbox users not happy with Games with Gold April lineup for 2021. Xbox Games with Gold lineup has been revealed, and much like last month, some gamers are left with a bitter taste of disgust and disappointment. March's lineup is subpar games like Vikings Wolf of Midgard, Truck Racing Championships, Dark Void, and Hard Corps Uprising. So how many of these titles have you guys heard of? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Some Xbox Live subscribers were not happy with the announcement, though a number of users had already predicted that the next set of free games was going to be anything but impressive, Gamers filled the Xbox Games with Gold Twitter announcements with negative comments, with some just straight up saying that the PlayStation is just better. I will grace you now with a few tweets from some pissed off Xbox Live subscribers. Xbox has the best service, Game Pass, and the worst service, Xbox Gold. Here's another one. I'm sorry, but get rid of this. It's not even worth paying it for at this point. PlayStation Plus destroys Xbox Live Gold. Another user said, this seems to get worse every month. It's madness. Scrap it. Somebody else wrote, Games with Gold just needs to be shut down and focus on Game Pass. There has not been a decent game in months. And lastly, I've let my gold expire after subbing for years. Games with Gold is utter shite and has been for ages. So people are pissed, and I get it. Like, you pay, like the PlayStation, they give you like good games, like titles that you've heard of, AAA titles, good shit, you know. And Xbox just gives you crap. People are just fed up with it. They don't want to pay for it anymore. Okay. The world's biggest video game cheating operation that made $55 million selling hacks for games such as Call of Duty is smashed by the Chinese police. So this is like this was pretty big news. Chinese police have busted what they say is the world's biggest video game cheating operation, which was making $55 million selling cheats to clients.
Jeez.
The so-called chicken drumstick ring had a website offering hacks for games including Call of Duty and Overwatch, BBC News reported. Gamers paid subscription fees beginning at around $7 a day and reaching up to $145 a month for access to the specially designed cheats, it claimed.
Jeez.
So 10 people were arrested and around $33 million in assets, mostly luxury vehicles, were also seized from the organization which developed hacks for video games and sold them to customers. Police described it as the world's biggest cheating ring because of the huge sums of money which saw the cheating outfit make around $55 million in revenue. The Chinese police in Kunshan near Shanghai smashed the ring in a cooperation with tech giant Tencent, not to be confused with Fitty. The reports say.
Fitty.
So, yes, why is this a big deal? Well, gaming firms have a tougher line on cheats in recent years with the dawn of online tournaments in which players can potentially win millions. So people are just, buying cheats. You can go in a tournament and you can win money. So it's a big deal. So these guys got busted over in
and it's also not fun.
China.
Like, if you are a competitive player and there's people out there cheating, that
and you can
sucks.
tell. You can tell. Like people cheat all the time, and you'll just get hit out of nowhere. Like how there's no way possible that could happen. People just they're somehow cheating and they can do it.
Crazy they made that much money.
55 mil.
I wish I knew something about computers.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna hit you guys with a final Dilly's retro revival.
The
DF double R. Yeah.
The final.
Dilly's final retro revival, guys.
DRR.
So I had to go to the well on this one because I've gave up a lot of classic titles. So I wanted to finish off with a nice favorite. So we're going to go with the classic shooter Call of Duty World at War. Call of Duty World at War was 2008's first-person shooter video game developed by Treyarch and published by Activision. It was released by Microsoft Windows, the PlayStation 3, Wii, and the Xbox 360 in November of 2008. It is the fifth main installment of the Call of Duty series and returns to the setting of World War II. The game also is the first title of Black Ops storyline. World at War receives ports featuring different storyline versions while remaining in the World War II setting. World at War's multiplayer experience resembles the one established in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. All versions of the game use a similar perk and ranking system and feature 6 multiplayer modes, including Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, etc. There were 3 kill streak modes, only 3 back then, that could be used to turn the tides of battle. So you had a recon plane showing opposing players on the minimap, an artillery strike that you could launch upon any area, and attack dogs, which spawn and attack opposing players. These were gained by 3, 5, and 7 kills respectively. They're available in all modes apart from team survival and could not be edited. Did I mention it was also the first game in the series to feature the zombies mode featured in later sequels?
Zombies.
So this was the first appearance of zombies. You also had some really good character actors in this. So you had Corporal Roebuck, who was voiced by Sheboygan Kiefer Sutherland.
What?
Ooh.
Kiefers?
Keefs. You had Sergeant Victor Reznov,
Victar?
was voiced by Gary Oldman.
Old man?
Old
I
man.
love Old Man.
Old
the
man.
commissioner.
Private Polanski, voiced by Aaron Stanford.
Oh, no.
Stanford, he played Pyro in X2.
Yeah.
X-Men 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Stanford.
So, yeah, that's my DRR. So that brings
Okay.
us to
Yes, our favorite part.
our favorite
Yes.
segment of the DRR.
What was it?
Movies
2008?
from 2008.
2008?
I love this.
You guys have any guesses on what came out in 08?
Sharknado.
No.
Iron Man.
No.
Thor.
Negative.
Batman.
There was a Batman. I think
The
it was
Dark
Dark
Knight.
Knight. I didn't make my list, but Dark Knight did come out in 08. I saw that when I was looking at these. So we have 10,000 BC. You guys
Okay.
remember that
Oh,
garbage?
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like some big movie. It was just crap. Step Brothers.
Oh, hitter.
One of my faves.
Are you saying Pan? Or
Panned
Pam?
with a D?
What's that? Onions and ketchup? Yeah, I can taste it.
We have Pineapple Express.
Okay,
Oh.
that's a good one.
Jam.
Another one of my favorites here. Tropic
Thunder.
Yes.
I was gonna say that because I'm like, I feel like I remember Pineapple Express and Tropic Thunder being like,
And
for
Step
some
Bros.
reason I kind of got them all. I got them confused. Pineapple Express and Tropic Thunder, like they seem similar.
Similar.
Like just the titles. Anyway, go ahead.
They have You Don't Mess It with a Zohan.
Oh, never
Zohan
The
was
Zohan
2008.
was
This is a
08.
pretty good year. Wrapping
Never
up.
seen it.
And lastly, Dilly's favorite Avenger, The Incredible Hulk. Edward Norton.
Ooh, the
Edition.
Norts.
Not my favorite movie, but
You know what's funny about the
Your
Norts
favorite.
is that I think the Norts is a phenomenal actor,
really good actor.
but
What's your
so
favorite?
terrible in the Hulk.
Yeah.
What's
Not-
your favorite?
Edward
Norts?
Norts. Okay, well, this is like my personal opinion. Doubt you guys have ever even seen this movie. It's a Wes Anderson movie called Moonrise Kingdom. Edward
Hated
Norts.
it.
You've seen it?
Never seen it.
So, anyway, it's like my favorite movie, and Edward Norton is so good in it. But probably, I mean, of course, you know, American History X, Fight Club, great movies. He's a great actor, but he
Fight Club is-
sucks as the Hulk, bro.
Dude, there's one where he's in jail. What is that one?
American History X.
No. He's in jail, but he's like a young kid, and he gets off. Primal Fear.
Oh, I don't think I've seen it.
Is it Primal Fear?
Well, because he's in jail in American History X.
Well, yeah, that too. But this one
is it a different one? I have to pull that up.
The Norts.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he's good in a lot of ways, but like Bruce Banner, no. The Hulk, definitely not. Like he could possibly pull off Bruce Banner.
Yeah, it is Primal Fear. You never seen that?
No.
Came out in '96. It's a hitter.
96. That must have been one of his first movies.
A boy is accused of murder, and he's prosecuted, and the truth is buried in several layers.
And he didn't do it.
I don't know. You
Wrongly
gotta
accused. Okay, there is nothing that I like better than a documentary about someone that was wrongly accused. It's not that I like it, it's that I'm fascinated by
Shawshank.
it because I am so scared of being wrongly accused of murder and being put in jail for the rest of my life.
Well, you watched that one you sent me about Curb Your Enthusiasm, how that guy got off
Yeah.
because of that.
Right. I mean, he was on trial for murder. And he didn't do it. And he got off because he somehow just miraculously was on film for a TV show, you know, at a Dodgers game. But like,
Wow.
it's so scary to me because, you know, there's so many, like, and I'm thinking a lot of this because I've been watching a documentary about a wrongly accused person, that like the media plays a really big part. And if people just watch the media, you know, the fake news or whatever, it's like they can say whatever they want. Like in court, you have rules of what you can say. The media, there's no rules. So like they can talk all they want about this person that's accused, even though you're supposed to presume that they're innocent.
Right.
And
Which is never the case.
It's never the case. And if it's highly publicized, it's impossible to get an impartial jury.
Jurier.
And it's impossible. So like, it's just so scary to me that like, I know I was telling Logan this. I'm like, I guess I said when, but I meant like if you go missing or like end up dead. Like, and I don't have an alibi and for whatever reason, like it seems like maybe I did it. I'm like, I could legitimately go to jail for the rest of my life because it's almost always the spouse. And if people focus in on you enough, they can believe whatever they want to believe. And there's nothing you can say. Mm-hmm. The more you like, I didn't do it. Seems like you're, I don't know. It's like,
oh, that's what guilty people say.
I have nightmares about just being put on death row for something I didn't do.
Be locked up like Akon.
But anyway, why was I talking about that?
I don't know.
Because I was talking about Primal Fear.
Oh, right. Primal Fear. Okay. Thank you so much, Dilly.
You're welcome.
It's got Richard Gere in it.
Richard Gere?
Yeah.
Did you say Greer?
The
or
hamster
Gere?
guy?
He's in it.
So Richard Gere,
Yeah.
right?
Richard Gere. Because he took it in the rear.
With the gerbil slide?
That you guys know that's not real, right?
Yeah.
It was fake news.
Yeah, I know, but it was funny, and I thought Dilly would get it, but he kind of...
But don't you think it's funny that people still say that about him?
Was it true though?
No, it was not true.
Is this fact?
This is fact.
Is this fact or cap?
It's cap.
Dude.
Wait, which one's cap again?
It's like when you're...
Oh, when you're lying.
When it's false.
Do you watch the Fact or Cap
Yeah.
channel? Mm-hmm. I love those guys.
Mm-hmm. The two guys.
Did you guys watch Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Watch a little bit of it.
What do you
First
think?
one.
What do you think?
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it because we finally get some type of action.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm loving it.
WandaVision just
That's good.
was so slow. It was good, but it was just slow.
Yeah.
Slow burn.
It was a different type of show. Wasn't an action show, but I haven't watched Winter Soldier yet. I mean, yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier, but it's too long of a goddamn name. Can we shorten it to something? The Falcon. So TFL.
Let's call it Solfo. Be
So-
done with it.
Solfo.
Solfo.
Falcor.
Foul.
Falcor? Like Never Ending Story?
Yeah, that was,
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Foul soul.
Fossil?
Something,
Bill.
because it's literally the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Why don't you
There's
just
two
go
thes
Falcon
in there.
and Winter Soldier?
Because it's still really long. You just fumbled it.
Falcon Winter Soldier.
Anyway, we do have an email.
A mail.
This is an important email, I think.
An email.
Dilly's going to
An
read
electronic
it.
mail.
This is going to be his last email.
I'm going to use my words real good.
I'm a real good sex person.
Are you guys ready? I don't know if the world is ready for this email.
I don't think so either. I'm barely ready.
All right. Here it
Hanging
goes,
on.
you guys. It's titled Ode to Dilly.
Wow, ode?
Wow.
I better get an ode.
ODE.
Someone better ode me.
Okay, so just when I thought 2021 was going to be a great year, I get the news that my bestie is leaving Hardly Heroes. Then I get the news the whole show is shutting down. Not effing cool, in all caps. Since the end is near, it is fitting for me to come clean. I am the villain. I am Darth Vader. I am Jay Jackal.
What?
The one you love to hate. The voice that closes the show and starts the gaming corner is always the voice of pure evil. What the F am I going to do now? I've been able to hear the sweet voices of my family and friends for 5 years, and now it's going away. I guess I'll just listen to myself singing and Dilly playing guitar with our band NRB. You can find our music on the YouTube at Jay Jackal. If you want to play Xbox with me, you can friend request me at Jay Jackal. I'm going to these are all true statements. I'm going to need voice memos from Mad King and Cheese to wean me off the weekly doses of them. Although Brother James is sad for the show coming to an end, Jay Jackal is very happy because all the time and effort my family and friends put into the show can now be redirected to time and effort putting into serving me and my needs.
Ew.
Ugh. Although I never told any of you the secret life as the J Jackal, Dilly and Mammy knew the real me and held my secret well.
No,
I
Mammy.
meant 95% of the stuff I said in those emails, especially the stuff about Johnny. I know Buddy will break your ankles. Dilly is the reason J Jackal went into hiding. I just couldn't say mean things about my bestie. My mind and fingers would not let me think or type ill feelings of Dill's. He has very long fingers too.
Ew, I know.
When he shakes it,
seriously,
it's like probably a good
that thing
8-inch finger. Now it's time for J Jackal Thoughts with J Jackal. Thought for the day: soccer sucks, and so does Johnny. Love, J Jackal, a.k.a. Darth Vader, a.k.a. Boba Fett, a.k.a. the Prince of Darkness, a.k.a. Dilly's bestie, a.k.a. Brother James.
Wow.
P.S. April Fools, I love Johnny.
I can't believe he outed himself.
I know, dude.
Uh-huh.
Brother
Secret's
James
out.
was J Jackal.
I was waiting in
whole
all those
time.
things. I thought he was gonna say he was Chasm Seeker.
Oh
Esquire.
yeah, Esquire.
Yeah,
the third.
Esquire.
I want to find out who that was.
Hey, Chasm Seeker, if you are listening, we're ending the show. So, in J Jackal Spirit,
Yeah.
reveal
Please.
yourself.
Mammy had no idea.
That J Jackal.
No, not one bit.
When did she find out?
I don't know.
Does she know?
She knows. That's what it says in the email.
I don't.
I
Think
thought it doesn't seem like she did.
I don't think she does know because she used to like. I remember her being like, "What? This is J Jackal. He's not very nice. Not very nice."
I think she was just stringing you guys along.
You know what? Actually, Mammy is pretty
Maybe,
good at that.
yeah, she
she's
might have.
she's
Played the
pranking
role,
us,
dude.
bro. She's pranking
The
us.
long con.
Oh God.
She played the game.
I actually think she could do it too. The long con.
She might be right.
Honest to God, Mammy could be like a famous bank robber. You know what I'm saying? And we just don't know it. I feel like she could do it.
She could do it.
You know, she really has this like persona, her like sweet, you know, but I think underneath she's like got millions stashed somewhere
Millions.
in gold nuggets.
Nugs.
And thank you guys for having me on the show. It's been awesome.
You know, Dilly,
It's been a fun 2 years.
it's been so. Has it been that long?
Yeah,
For
over
you?
two. Over two. Yeah.
I've only been on a year.
Thanks
so.
to all the sidekicks. Everybody, love everybody.
Yeah, I know.
And I'll be back in some capacity. This
Right.
isn't the last of Dill, so
No,
don't Trisnit, potato chisnit.
I think. I think like even though Dilly's leaving and we're ending the show, that our plan is to take all the episodes, every episode, all the After Dark, everything, and just put it on our channel. And we're going to keep that channel. There's like a small fee to pay every single year to keep it. So we'll keep the channel all free. We'll just stay up there forever, probably. I don't know. Maybe when we're like 70, we'll take it down. And everybody can still listen to 5 years worth of shows. Like,
Right.
there's probably a lot of people, maybe newer listeners that haven't listened to everything. Obviously, there's a lot of people who
What
haven't.
about episode 1 through 5?
I don't know. Are those
What
not
do you
on
mean?
there?
What do you mean 1 through 5?
Does anybody even
1
have them?
through 5.
Oh,
We
like-
have them. I could get them. Those
should
are
release
like
those.
those are super old. That was before Manny had even come on.
Yeah, I mean, we could, if you have them, we can put them up. But I think it's going to be fun too because all the regular listeners who don't pay a subscription will now
Yeah.
be able to listen to the After Dark. So we're going to put everything up so you guys can still go back and listen to Dilly's sweet voice. But because we're going to keep the channel up, there's always an option like stay subscribed to just the channel, not the. We're obviously going to deactivate the patron
Yeah.
thing. So, you know,
Well, just know if Sonny or Johnny comes, like I'm gonna light up the
Yeah.
mics. You know,
Of course.
so exactly. So something might pop up in a year or two. You never know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dilly's
Don't-
sweet. Maybe just
Don't sleep on the heroes.
maybe just like a solo show of Dilly telling bedtime stories.
That'd be great. Mm-hmm.
Or even Mammy.
I would love to get
Bedtime
Mammy on.
stories
I
with
know
Mams.
Burger Man wants to come
Bedtime
on.
stories with Mams.
Burger
So
Man.
anyway, you guys keep Dilly especially in your hearts and your minds
Keep me
because
in there.
we love him so much. It's sad. We had our last Hardly Heroes Thursday night family dinner.
Yes, Taco Bell.
The
Delicious.
the
Fire packets for show.
So that'll be fun later. We could call each other later.
My stomach already hurts.
From the toilet. Let's
Yeah.
do a conference call in about an hour.
I just got a tummy bubble.
I'm already ready.
Rip.
No, I just want to say thank you for being a part of the show and coming on. It's been like a ton of fun. It's crazy to think it's been that long.
Yeah.
It really does not seem that long.
Because that's a big chunk of the 5 years.
Yeah.
It was almost half of it. Right?
Yeah.
Pretty close. I had a good run.
It's crazy.
Good run.
That's a good run.
Yeah, you were part of the biggest event we had ever done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That end game was,
Well, I mean, I put that all together, so
you did all of it.
pretty
You
much
sold
everything.
all the tickets.
Yeah, everything. Like,
You made the art.
all the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, Dilly, even though I came after, and you were kind of like already top dog around here, even though Buddy thinks he's first mic.
Yeah.
I am.
You accepted me into the fold with gracious arms.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful arms. And I've had a great fun. I think.
Can I say the real reason why I brought Dilly
Can
on?
you guys play Creed with arms wide open?
With
Yeah.
arms.
Can you overdub that
with
into this?
arms wide
The real
open.
reason why Dilly was brought on, you guys really want to know? He could read.
Yep.
That was the criteria.
are-
I'm like, Dilly, can you read? Yeah. Okay, cool. You can come
I'm
on.
like, kind of.
Oh, wait, who's gonna read when he's gone?
Nobody.
Seriously, you guys, you're gonna have to like type it into like one of those voice apps
Yeah.
and be like,
You know
have to
what?
play
You know
it.
what Mammy can maybe do is like type it out phonetically so we can. read
Whatever
it.
guests we have on is going to have to read.
He's like, "Hey, can you read?
It's like
you want
a
to come on the show?
prerequisite.
Can you read?
You're on."
Yep.
Do
You got a
read?
spot.
But anyway, Dilly, we love you so much.
Yeah, I love you guys, too.
What really is great about us and what sucks for the sidekicks is that Dilly will always be a part of our fam because he's our brother's best friend. So we'll still get to enjoy him.
I'll be around.
We'll invite him to family events and make Brother James jealous and mad that he left us
Yeah.
here in California.
And when, Sector 7 does events, doesn't mean, Dilly will probably show up.
Dilly will make an appearance.
Oh yeah, 100%. No waterworks.
Okay. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah, thanks, Dilly, once again.
We love
And
you.
Thank you guys. Thanks everybody.
find
Thank all
us-
sidekicks.
Yeah, you can find us everywhere at Hardly Heroes.
Yep.
Just remember one thing.
Disclaimer, they don't know shit.
We're going to miss Dilly. You guys have a good night.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Peace out. I'm Dyllyrd Skyllrd.